All right, welcome to That's Pretty Neat. Today we'll be talking about the Takagi-san movie. So I had seen the first 3 seasons, which precede this, and I'm a big fan of the Takagi series. So I was really happy that this movie came to the US because I definitely wanted to see it on the big screen. And I was quite happy with how this movie came out. What about you? Since I know you're not at all familiar with this series, were you able to get some enjoyment out of this?
I think with anime films, you kind of don't know if you could watch it and then get anything out of it. Like, I think Jujutsu Kaisen, the Demon Slayer Train movie, Disappearance of Haruhi, you can watch those movies without having watched the main series. Yeah. But it gives you a nice beginning, middle, and end that's compelling. This movie was... You definitely felt like I got dropped in at that third act. It's like the time we brought our friend to the 7th Harry Potter movie after he had never seen any of the Harry Potters or read the books. I think for me, probably the most compelling part was the three friends worrying about being separated after their graduation. I think that was the most compelling part to me. Yeah.
No, I am also a very big sucker for the graduating kind of a story. Immediately, I think of K-On!
Yeah.
You know, this whole idea of we're friends, but we're going to move on. This one has that, but it's not too big of a plot point. What I liked about this movie, it feels like 4 episodes of the anime stitched together.
Really?
Yeah. The anime is very much like this. It's very slow going, and it focuses on like the friendship of the characters. There's no drama. There's no big problems. You know, everything is like day to day. Their lives.
Very slice of life. The one thing that I did enjoy about it though was I always like when we're in a different area of Japan than just like normal
Tokyo, Kyoto.
Yeah. And I think with something like this movie, it did feel like, oh, I'm getting a little glimpse of this area's culture, specific culture. I think the lighting the torches and walking through the countryside and the rice paddies, I thought that was interesting and that's compelling. And how the characters navigate in the smaller town, like when they watch the fireworks, because they go through abandoned like tunnel, right, to get this great spot. Or I think the tori that is everywhere throughout the town. And so I think it's really great to see these little snapshots of areas of Japan that you don't necessarily get featured in all of the bigger shows and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I really like that.
And so that part I did enjoy, and I didn't have to know anything about the show to get an enjoyment out of that, for sure. Yeah. Looking at this film from the romance genre was that it's like, it feels very like, it doesn't feel natural, the interactions between the character. I felt that for me it felt very scripted. Like I could tell that this is a show like rather than like putting a camera in front of actual people.
Is there any like specific point that stood out?
So I don't know, the whole cat thing was just like...
I can understand. I really like that cat story, but it's incredibly... I would say if I'm going to be cynical, that's incredibly manipulative.
Yeah.
I knew exactly where the story's going to end.
Oh, of course.
Like, but as someone who's a cat lover, and I just enjoyed that so much.
I thought it's cute too, right? Yeah. But I'm just saying that in terms of... It doesn't feel like very naturalistic. Like it feels like you're watching an anime when you're watching that, and it feels like you're watching anime romance. Yeah. I'd like to kind of compare it to something like Tsuki ga Kirei, which is a lot more naturalistic. It feels like you're shooting actual middle schoolers and their kind of like ups and downs of their romance.
I get what you mean, but I would say that kind of like anime feel, like you said. I think that's kind of the charm. Is this an idealized innocence. It's kind of like a Norman Rockwell painting, kind of like the idealized Americana. You know, this is the idealized rural Japan. And so I think that's, you can view it as a criticism, or you can view it as a point in its favor. And I think it's cute. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Yeah. But I could totally understand that.
We were in a packed theater, and the fans
they loved
were
it.
Very happy with it. Clearly it has appeal, and clearly this is a good ending to this story, right? Which is ending, I assume, right?
No. It is not.
It's not an ending. It is not.
I wanted to bring that up. Okay. So there's a post-credit sequence where we see Takagi-san and Nishikata and their daughter. Yeah. And you have no experience with this. And so I was curious if you're going to think this is the ending.
I thought this was the end.
And because the manga is still ongoing, but there is a spin-off series where they're the adults and it's their daughter too. So it's the daughter and Takagi teasing Nishikata. And so it's simultaneous. God. So like, there is no tension of whether or not they get together, because the answer is yes, they get together. Yeah. I have a feeling we're gonna see more of the show.
Okay.
The fact that it even got three seasons
of the movie,
it is fascinating to me because I really enjoyed the first season, but I thought that was gonna be it. You know, and I know the manga is very popular, but popularity does not necessarily mean you're gonna get a sequel.
The show probably would be enjoyable. I mean, I'm not opposed to going back and watching it. Yeah. And so any final final thoughts?
I would say I assume if you're watching this video, you're already following the series. So if you are worried that they do anything weird in this movie or they jump the shark or no, it's the status quo, and you know what? That's perfectly fine with me. I really like the vibe that this show has, and if they just want to take their time in developing the romance, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah, I would say that clearly everyone in the audience really enjoyed the film. I think, like I said, I had got at least a little bit out of it.
So you would not recommend like a new first-time person just jumping into the movie?
I mean, I think that's pretty clear after watching this. Like I said, it felt like I was getting dropped into a third act. And it's fine. It was charming in its own right. But like I said, it's not like you can just watch it and be like, oh, there's a beginning, middle, and end. Yeah, if you're a fan of the show, you're probably going to enjoy it. Like I said, I was still able to get something out of it, so you know, there's that. So what about you? Would you recommend this?
Yeah, if you're a fan of this, if you're just going into this blind, you've never seen the first 3 seasons or even the first season, I would say you could just watch the first season and jump straight into this. You're not going to miss too much. The romance is a very slow boil, like I said. So I think if you're not a fan of slow romances, you're like, I want to get them to the point. You know, I want the confession immediately. Yeah, this might drive you nuts. Yeah, if you're a fan, you're gonna like this.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a gift to the fans.
Okay, for sure. That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's about it. All right.
Yep.
So thank you for watching.
Yep. Thank you.